What's up guys, I just bought a $20,000 watch and today's video is all about hiring because I'm going to talk about how you're able to hire the top 1% setters in the market. The number one reason why business owners struggle is because they don't use leverage. You don't have leverage in your company, right? This is my year of 2024, okay? I just turned 25 in October. Obviously, this is just my PayPal history. I am using also other payment providers like Wise, Stripe, etc. So I made even more money than this, but I like to use my PayPal as reference because that's where I got most of my income. I just bought a new property here in Rome. As you can see, I'm signing the papers here. I'm having $7,500 days and it's all because of my team. So I scaled my consulting company to $90,000 per month in less than 6 months. Nobody else is getting these results. And the most important thing is that our clients are getting the same results, right? So the process I implemented is repeatable because it actually didn't depend on me. It all depended on my team. The amount of business owners that I am talking with who are struggling because let's say they have a good acquisition system in place. If you don't have an already good acquisition system in place, you should watch my YouTube videos, okay? But if you don't have it in place, this is not going to work for you. If you have a system in place, if you're already making between $5,000 to $10,000 per month, then this is absolutely for you because you need to scale. And your number one reason why you're not making $100,000 per month from this month to the next month before the end of the year is because you don't have leverage, you don't have a good team. So I just had a new sign up. She was a new client that was making already $20,000 per month. She actually scaled to $40,000 per month with advertising campaigns. But the problem was that she actually couldn't keep going because she just didn't have the right manpower in place. She didn't have the right employees. And she was working 12 hours a day and she just literally couldn't scale furthermore. And this is where you need to implement appointment setters. You don't need to wait until you're cracking $40,000 per month, okay, in order to get these days, in order to buy you a new nice flat that you can invest into. I'm going to rent it out as an Airbnb. I'm going to start another business, an Airbnb business. That's why I bought this property. But that's basically just my hobby. That's basically just the money I like to play around with, because if you're already having an automated system where you work 1 to 2 hours a day like me and your team is generating all this income, you're paying your team well, especially if you have commission-based appointment setters, which we are going to talk about right here, you're going to be absolutely crushing it, okay? So I say all of this because our clients are getting the same or even better results. As you can see, 52K collected for David's agency, 43,000 euros generated. All of these results, Steven was a complete beginner and he's closing clients for $2,000 per month, right? So Steven is actually someone who was just our weight loss client. When I was an online fitness coach in the beginning, that was my first multiple six-figure company before starting FitScaling and helping actually other consultants, business owners, coaches scale. I was an online fitness coach and Steven was an online fitness coaching client. I've been talking about him a lot on this YouTube channel because it's a crazy journey. He's closing clients for 2K. He's living from this equity 9 to 5. He's just more of the beginner side of clients, right? And he can already leverage this system, right? He started making $5,000 just on his own, and now we scaled him to $20,000 per month with appointment setting systems, right? We implemented that into his company. We built him up from complete zero. Jamie, for example, 20K per month, right? Or George, he's absolutely crushing it. He's making $75,000 every single month. Not all of that is cash flow, but he's close to hitting his first six-figure month. Okay, so let's get into it. How can you hire the top 1% setters? First of all, why should you do that? Okay, let's look at some statistics. So let's say you're sending on your own 100 outreaches per day. Let's say you have 3 Instagram accounts. You're sending 30 messages from every single one of them because you don't want to get banned by Instagram. And you're getting a good amount of inbound leads. You don't need to get inbound leads, but let's say you're at a position where you already started running ads, right? For example, a new client that I just talked about, Elizabeth, she has already been running ads. She got around 10 to 15 new inbound leads every single day, and she started doing the appointment setting process for the ad leads. And she was scaling, but she just couldn't scale anymore because it took way too much time for her, right? So let's say you're at 5 to 10K per month. You're doing everything on your own. All you need to do, once you have a good system, is that you delegate it to the right team members. But most business owners just can't figure out how to find quality setters, which for me is absolutely insane, okay? So delegating this process, 5xing your volume, plus you amp up quality, because if one person is doing only one thing, they're going to get better in that than you are, right? You're the CEO of your company. What you got to understand why you also need to use leverage is because you are doing only different things. You're creating content, you're jumping on sales calls, you're doing appointment setting, you are fulfilling clients, right? If you don't have a client success manager. And because you are basically doing all of these things, you might be very good in them, but you're not as good as if you, let's say, were only doing selling, like closing, right? or appointment setting. But once you start delegating, in the beginning, the person that you hire, if they are the right people, they're going to learn really, really fast and they're going to become better in what you do than you are. So basically, my setters, for example, if I can show you really quickly, one of my setters, Valentina, literally just did this entire outreach training for one of our clients, completely personalized, right? I didn't even touch that. And I looked at it and it's even better than what I would do, right? So this is what good employees can do. This is how you can hit $100,000 per month, right? Because without a team and leverage, you're not an entrepreneur, you are just self-employed. I want you to understand that, okay? We have this saying that you are an invoice employee, right? Or you can be an actual company building CEO. If you're an invoice employee because you're doing everything on your own, you're going to bleed out and you're not going to get results, okay? So in this video, it's all going to be, I'm going to give it all away for completely free, of how you can hire the top 1% setters. Or, of course, if you're a little bit lazy, right, which I always say, you can just sign up with us and we can do the entire process for you. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit also, okay? So I already did a video about a similar topic, but I want to go way more in depth. So this is how you can hire the best setters in the market. Hiring top quality appointment setters is the most crucial step if you want to scale from 5 to 10K to 100K per month, right? We have a general idea of slow to hire, quick to fire, because one of the number one things that business owners run into is that they are trying to hire setters, but they find people who don't understand their offer, they can't conduct proper conversation, people who are just generally lazy and don't want to work, and then most importantly, people who just can't pick up your conversational style. This is the most important thing. Now, if you thought that it's impossible to hire people who can be replicates of you, right? Replicas of you, sorry for my English. If you thought that, it's not true, okay? You can, all right? So these are two of my setters, for example. We are conversating every single day in our WhatsApp. Just look at this. All of these messages are sent by my setter. For example, Sarah is one of our setter, right? She's sending content assets. She's leveraging my content in YouTube. She's following our entire DM framework, which I'm going to break down in a little bit as well. Obviously, you need to have a good DM framework in place. We create the same DM frameworks for our clients as well. For example, we have 30 different first messages, right? Just first messages so we don't get banned on Instagram. We have a certain way of explaining our offer. We have certain questions that we are asking from prospects to qualify them. If you're not booking qualified appointments, because many people book appointments, but the appointments are not qualified, this is the reason why, right? If you can do it yourself, your setter needs to be able to do it, right? Obviously, you need to understand what kind of objections the clients can have or the prospects can have. You need to have an entire system, a thought-out system, a follow-up system. All of this needs to be in place, which we can do for you. By the way, if you send me a message, I can send over this entire sheet, our exact copy-paste DM framework. I know it's crazy that I'm sharing it, right? This is really behind-the-scenes type of stuff. And you can just transform it for your specific offer, okay? But back to our topic right here. So basically, how to find candidates. You have a very specific system on finding candidates, okay? So what you need to look for in proper candidates is experience level, professionalism, and cooperativeness. These are the three most important things. What you got to understand is you don't even need to look for extremely experienced setters. What you need to look for are personality traits. We hire people based on personality, okay? The number one personality trait is loyalty, okay? The appointment setter that you hire needs to be someone who follows your instructions well, and needs to be someone who, let's say you have a down week or even a down month, and they stay with you and they fight for your company with you together. Once you find these A-player appointment setters, that's when your company is going to be absolutely skyrocketed, okay? So the first step is to find right candidates. How we do that, but our number one way of doing that is going into Facebook groups. So many companies actually train up appointment setters. We are not looking for specifically the appointment setters that get trained up by these companies, because many setters, for example, in the appointment setting industry, are a little bit spoiled, okay? So these companies, for example, Millionaire Consulting, Bastian Slott's company, I'm sure that you've heard of him before, is training appointment setters, but he's promising them that they are going to make a 6-figure salary in a year. So these people are trained to take care of inbound leads, okay? But there is absolutely no reason why we wouldn't be able to leverage Bastian's Facebook group, for example, or all these other Facebook groups as well, because these are not the only setters that are in there, okay? So, but of course, in this group, for example, what to avoid is setters with big egos. So the most obvious choice for setters that you would want to find, for example, from these Facebook groups, are not people who have extremely high level of experience or that have done a training program for, let's say, $6,000, because these people have been fed the idea that they are going to go to the promised land being an appointment setter. They don't want to work hard, they don't want to be a proper employee, they imagine that, okay, hey, I'm going to be a king with this appointment setting stuff, and then I can flex for my friends. These are not the people that we are looking for, okay? But first of all, first step, very important, get into these Facebook groups, okay? This is a copy-paste Facebook group message that you can send into the group, right? We designed it for you. This is what we have been using. Just make sure that you formulate it in a way that it's fitting your own niche. You post it in different Facebook groups, let's say 10 to 20 at a time, and you're going to get hundreds of applications. It's a very easy process. I can send you over this entire document so you can copy-paste it. For example, my brother just was looking for some setters, right, in March. And after that, you need to check the setter's profile, the setter's activity in the group, and the setter's location. These three things are very important. So if you're working with clients in the USA, you're not going to be good with a setter who, let's say, is 10 hours apart from that, okay, in terms of time zones. You need to find a quality setter. Other most important thing, if you're a female and you are selling for females, you need to find a setter who is a female as well, because otherwise this appointment setter is not going to be able to implement your way of talking with people, okay? So it's extremely important. Make sure that you join these Facebook groups. You can find a lot of other Facebook groups as well. You can do this in like 10 minutes. By the way, if you already have a setter, the setter can do it as well. So my setter is doing the hiring. If I'm ever hiring new setters, which we do a lot, then they are doing this entire process. So it's also trainable, okay? So that's the first step. The second step is how to qualify candidates, okay? Now you have, let's say, 150 candidates, okay? What you need to do is basically the Facebook group strategy. You have a lot of candidates, but this is where things happen, okay? You need to basically start qualifying them. Our process for qualifying these setters is, first of all, we always ask for CV. If a setter can't give you a CV, then like, what are you doing, right? You need to ask them to send a CV either in a Loom video or in email. If a setter can't put together a proper CV, which many of them won't, out the window, okay? You already basically cut your candidate number by 50%. So let's say now you have from 100 candidates, you have 50 candidates. Then you need to make them fill out a personality test. Most business owners skip on this, which is insane because a personality is the most important thing that we are looking for, okay? This is the personality test that we are using. It's called 16 personalities. It's an extremely, extremely trustworthy stuff, right? So basically, it's going to filter out protagonists. Who we want to filter out once the setter filled it out is protagonists. You never want to work with protagonists because protagonist personality types are looking out for themselves, not for your company. They are not good type of employees. And if you failed with a setter before, there is a 99.9% chance that the setter you've been working with had a protagonist personality, you just didn't know, right? Defender personalities are the best, commander personalities are the best. And then obviously you need to send a qualification sheet and ask for detailed answers in email, okay? This is our qualification sheet. It's basically copy-paste, so you can send almost the absolute same sheet. If I can just zoom in here a little bit in a second, right? What you need to understand, and this is extremely important, before even jumping on an interview with an appointment setter, you need to understand their employment background, right? Because you can find many candidates, but if you don't understand what their employment background is, they might not fit your company, right? Let's say if they work with marketing agencies, e-commerce, or fitness coaches before, if someone has only been working with fitness coaches and you have a marketing agency, they are not going to be fitting your offer because they don't have experience in that. But experience is the lowest importance from all of this. This is why the next questions also need to be filled out. Let's say roles and responsibilities, right? That's the other question. So let's say someone had a very easy position. So let's say they don't even really have appointment setting position per se, but they understand how to conversate. And they had a very easy position, right? They're students, they had an easy position, they don't know how to work hard. We don't want those people, okay? Your best bet is finding people who might not even have a lot of experience, but they have been doing some insane low grade, let's say minimum wage, hardcore job that they absolutely hated, and for them it's an insane gift to even be working from home, okay? These people are going to value your company and they are going to learn really, really fast. Obviously you need to understand what kind of KPIs they needed to hit if they were setters already, what kind of platforms they used, what kind of results they achieved, and why. This is the most important. Why did they leave their previous workplace? Because the amount of setters that I asked this question and that they said, well, I was working for this company, but then I wanted to travel around a bit. I didn't have time to work anymore. So I just quit the company and now I'm looking for a new position now that I'm back from traveling, right? Like they don't even know but they are kind of getting themselves out of the picture. Because if someone is a personality like that, you don't want to work with them. So do you see how this is a psychology-based hiring process? It's not a fact-based hiring process, because facts can lie. Anybody can lie about facts. Anybody can lie, especially if an employee wants to join your company. What you need to look for is personality traits. And with this question, it's extremely hard to lie to you, right? Because people are going to be honest, like, hey, I left because there was a low week with the business owner and I wanted to make more money, so I just left, right? They are disloyal. You don't want them, right? So make sure that you send this sheet to them. It's extremely, extremely important. And then obviously make sure that you interview them. This is the last stage of the process. From the 100 candidates, you should only do like 10 to 15 interviews. Maximum. You don't need to do more than that. Because if you're doing more than that, then you didn't do the process beforehand well enough, okay? This is our entire interview script. This is how I need to conduct the interviews. I can send this interview script over to you as well. It's extremely easy to use. Just make sure that you go through all of these questions first. There needs to be a little bit of small talk, and you need to understand and get to know the sector. They need to explain your job. You need to make sure that you understand everything, and then you are going to choose your ideal candidate. If you do this system properly, right, it's going to work. The only problem with the system is that it takes a lot of time, okay? So the number one place to find good setters is our Facebook group, where we have already done this beforehand. So in our Facebook group, we have around 70 setters, 65 members, right? This is a very small amount of people compared to other groups because we already pre-select the appointment setters that are in the group, okay? I really, really want you to understand that we have created this group, so we have already pre-trained setters. All of the setters in this private Facebook group are people who have already been pre-trained by us, who already understand what kind of clients we are working with, who already understand our training process. For example, one of our clients is already generating around $40,000 per month. We implemented an insane setter for them, right? That is full of comments of pre-trained setters. We have already implemented an insane setter for him. Okay, Luke is working with an insane setter. I can actually show you in a second. So as you can see, he's working with Ahmadi. We implemented him from our Facebook group, okay? So it's extremely easy, this process. If you want to join our Facebook group, if you want to make sure that you get the best quality setters, make sure that you send me a message on Instagram and I will put you into this group, and I will send over the entire sheet, the qualification sheet and everything like that, so you can hire your insane appointment setter next day, okay? So it's extremely important that you do that. Now, if you look at just appointment setting systems, where most people bleed out is you either hire VAs or regular setters. This is not who we want to work with, and this is not the people who are inside our Facebook group, okay? We work with only feed growth specialists who have already gone through the entire qualification process, okay? This is extremely important. They have already watched our in-depth training modules where we train these people for B2B and B2C offers, right? This, for example, our B2B offer, our B2B training system, and it's absolutely insane, okay? So if you want to get good results, this is how you do that, okay? Obviously, we create in-depth DM frameworks for our clients as well, based on their niche. We improve on that. If you have an already existing DM framework, even better, we can improve on that, all right? But you need to have a good thought out system. So make sure you send me a message. I'm going to put you into the Facebook group, and I'm going to send you over this entire sheet. I can send you over our DM framework as well ahead of time, and we can find you an insane setter, okay? You can find them yourself. Now, the only thing is, right, if you want to make sure that you can buy your own property as well, that you can work 1 to 2 hours a day, you can get results like this, right, like our clients, make sure that you send me a message on Instagram. I'm going to send all of this over to you, and then just, man, if you've been watching our videos, like, what are you doing, okay? Because the only problem with this process is it takes time. If you're running your company and you're not 100% sure that you can hire the best setters on the market, then make sure that you sign up with us, right? Compared to the value that we give, we are extremely cheap. Like, it's insane, right? Like $1 million a year I've been making. Some of our clients are actually making even more than that because they have an even bigger setter team than me, right? They leverage, which we implemented. So that's absolutely insane. So make sure that you book a call with me, okay? Make sure that you send me a message on Instagram. Feel free to check out our other client results as well, because these are just a few of them, and see you in the next video.